Okay, here's an overview of the application. Now, after the organization administrator establishes their organization, the administrator will log into the application and be presented with this menu page. Now, event members are not just the members of your organization. An event member is anyone that wants to participate as a volunteer. For example, John Jones is a member of your organization. However, John would like to have his wife Mary also participate as a volunteer. Therefore, both John and Mary will be entered as event members. Now, when you're adding an event member, there's only 4 pieces of information required: first and last name, telephone number, and email address. Now, anytime you may have changes to the volunteer's information, you can make these changes using the Update Existing Event Member function. Now, when your organization has initially been set up, you are asked to enter the name of your organization. You have up to 3 lines of information to name your organization, and you may change this information at any time by selecting the function for Update Organization Name. It's very simple. But now we get to the guts of the application: events. The organization administrator is the only person allowed to set up an event. Now, I'll not go into that detail right now as to how to set up the event. When you get to that page, there's a help link that will give you detailed instructions on how to set up the event. And after an event is set up, you have the option to go back and make changes to the setup. The application allows for members to enter themselves as volunteers for any particular event. However, if the member is not comfortable doing that, they can contact either the administrator or the chairperson of the event for them to enter their information as a volunteer. And this is done with the function for Enter Event Volunteers. Now, as names are added or removed as volunteers for an event, the information is logged. The administrator or chairperson can view this log file at any time. If a volunteer was added to an event but claims to have never added himself, the log file will indicate when the volunteer was added, by date and time, and also who added his name. Now, each event can have 1 or 2 chairpersons assigned to the event. The administrator is the only person that can assign chairpersons. When a chairperson is appointed, an email message will automatically be sent to the new chairperson informing them of their appointment. The email will also contain instructions for the chairperson to log in as an administrator. The chairperson will have almost the same privileges as the administrator, but will only have those privileges for any event for which they have been assigned as a chairperson. The administrator and chairperson can print an event at any time showing the current status of the event with regard to volunteers. The administrator and chairpersons can also send email reminders for an event. A few days prior to the event, they can select this option for an event and just click the send button, and emails will go to all the volunteers for the event, reminding them of their commitment. However, when selecting this option for an event, if reminders were previously sent for this event, the user will be so informed as to when and by who were reminders sent. We really don't want volunteers to be barraged with multiple emails containing the same duplicate information. Now, sending a broadcast email allows the user to send an email to every event member or to specific members. This is very helpful for chairpersons in promoting their event. Now, here's an important function. There is only one person at a time that can be the administrator. However, we don't want that person to be available 24/7, 365 days a year. Therefore, if the administrator is going to be unavailable for a period of time, they can remove themselves and appoint another person as the administrator. Now, when the original administrator returns, he can then have the temporary administrator return the authority as administrator back to him. This is a safer way of sharing the administrator privileges rather than sharing login and password information. The next function is self-explanatory. Anytime the administrator or chairperson needs to or wants to change their password, this function will allow it. Now, when you were initially setting up your organization, you'll have to add all of your volunteers. Now, if you should happen to have an Excel file containing those 4 pieces of information, first and last name, email address, and telephone number, you can use this Excel file, and this function will allow you to load this Excel file into your volunteer list. Now, thank you for signing up your organization, and this application will help keep your events more organized and hopefully increase your volunteer activity.